Welcome to CalmRealm. Tonight, let go of the day. Let your breath slow, and your thoughts drift gently, like clouds rolling across ancient mountains. Now, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a great and silent range, peaks rising high into the heavens, where the air is cool and thin, and time moves like a whisper on the wind. This is where your journey begins. The sun had just begun to dip behind the farthest ridge, casting long golden beams across the sloping valley. A soft wind stirred the tall grass, making it dance in slow waves. You stood at the edge of an old, winding path, the earth beneath your feet soft with moss and memory. Before you lay the clouded peaks, mysterious, timeless, waiting. You take a step forward, then another. Your breath is steady, your shoulders light. The forest welcomes you like an old friend. Tall, ancient pines rise on either side, their trunks wide and worn with age. Each tree seems to hum softly, as though it remembers stories long forgotten. As you walk deeper, the light fades to a gentle twilight, and the path becomes softer, cushioned by fallen needles and quiet earth. Your footsteps make no sound. Only the distant calls of birds and the rustling of branches fill the air, and even those sounds feel hushed, reverent. You come across a small stone bridge, arched gently over a clear mountain stream. The water trickles below, crystal clear, glinting in the fading light. You pause a moment, resting your hands on the cool stone railing, and breathe. The scent of pine, of wet earth, of distant snow fills your lungs, calm and grounding. You cross the bridge slowly, your journey continuing as twilight deepens. The mountains ahead now seem closer, darker, their silhouettes rising like ancient sentinels. Soon, you reach a small clearing. At its center stands a solitary wooden bench, weathered but sturdy. You sit and listen. The wind moves softly through the trees. The sky above begins to bloom with stars. You feel no rush, no wait, just presence. From your pack, you draw a small flask of warm tea. It smells of herbs and honey. You sip slowly, savoring the warmth as it flows down your throat and fills you with a quiet comfort. Far above, an owl calls once. Then all is still. Stone steps now guide you upward, carved long ago by hands that have since returned to the soil. Each step is cool, firm, steady beneath your feet. With every breath, the air becomes crisper, lighter, filled with the scent of snowmelt and sky. Eventually, the forest parts once more, revealing a ridge lined with tall, weathered cairns, stacks of stone made by travelers before you, markers of those who passed this way, perhaps seeking the same stillness you now feel. You stop beside one, place your hand on the warm, sun-soaked stones, and for a moment, you listen. It is not a sound you hear, but a feeling, a deep, slow rhythm beneath the earth, the mountain's breath. You walk on. Soon, the sky shifts from deep blue to indigo, and stars spill across the heavens like diamonds scattered on velvet. The moon rises, low and full, casting silver light over the land. The trees glow faintly, and your shadow follows quietly behind you, stretching long and gentle on the path. Ahead, you see the glow of a lantern, soft, steady. It hangs outside a small stone hut built into the mountainside. You approach and find the door slightly open. Inside, everything is quiet. A simple bed, a wooden table, a small fireplace with low, glowing embers. No one is there, and yet, the space feels welcoming, lived in, kind. You remove your cloak, set down your pack, and sit before the fire. The warmth touches your skin, but more than that, it touches something deeper. A stillness begins to bloom inside you. You close your eyes and listen to the sound of the wind through the high pines, to the fire's gentle breath, to the pulse of the mountain beneath you. Sleep does not come suddenly. It arrives like mist, quiet, gradual, wrapping itself around your thoughts. You lie down on the soft bed. The blankets are warm, the pillow cool against your cheek. And as your eyes grow heavy, the last thing you see is the flicker of firelight dancing like memory on the stone walls. Outside, the wind hums a lullaby, and the mountains. The fire had grown dim in the hearth, its final embers glowing faintly against stone. You stirred gently beneath the blanket, warm, peaceful, still wrapped in the quiet hush of the mountain night. The wind outside sighed softly through the pines, a sound so gentle it might have been a lullaby. You sat up slowly, stretching your arms with a quiet ease, not rushing, just noticing the way your breath rose in the cool, thin air. The stars outside the small window still shimmered, though dawn was near, its earliest light into the upper reaches of the peaks. All around you, the world began to stir. A bird called once, a pure bell-like note echoing through the air like the start of a song. And then, silence again. As the sky brightened, shades of lavender, pearl, and the palest blue unfurled across the heavens. Each breath you took felt fresher than the last, crisp, invigorating, but never sharp. Like the mountain itself was giving you its breath, slowly, generously. After some time, you came upon an ancient stone archway, half crumbled with age, covered in ivy and frost. It marked the beginning of a forgotten trail, one no longer found on maps. You stepped through, and the air changed, cooler, quieter, as though sound itself had become shy. The trail here was narrower, hugging the mountainside, winding through stretches of tall golden grass and patches of blooming alpine flowers. Each petal shimmered faintly with dew, catching the light like scattered stars. And then you heard it, a sound so soft, so distant, it might have been memory. Chimes, faint, melodic, carried on the wind. You followed the sound, heart calm, pace unhurried. Around a bend, you saw them, small metal bells, strung from branches of a low, leaning pine. Each bell turned gently in the breeze, singing its soft silver note into the morning. Beneath the tree, a small shrine stood, carved into the mountain rock itself. It bore no words, only a symbol, a spiral, open in the center. You knelt quietly, offering a moment of stillness, not a prayer, just presence. The bells sang above you, and for a moment, it felt as though time had stopped noticing you. When you rose again, the trail continued, but something had shifted. The way forward now led into a narrow pass, its sides steep and high. You stepped inside, and the air grew cooler still. Moisture clung to the stone walls. The sound of dripping water echoed all around. And then, a distant light, soft, flickering, amber. You followed it, your breath rising before you in thin mist. The pass widened and opened into a hidden valley cradled high between the peaks. And at the valley's center stood a temple, old, silent. Its wooden beams darkened with time. Moss grew thick on its roof, but still it stood, steady, watching, waiting. You stepped closer, your feet silent on the worn stone path. At the entrance, wind chimes stirred once more, welcoming. You bowed slightly, without thinking, as if your body understood what your mind had not yet caught up to. Inside, the temple smelled of cedar, smoke, and rain. Candles flickered along stone walls. A low hum filled the space. Not music exactly, but resonance, like the earth itself was humming. You sat cross-legged before the central altar. There was no statue, no figure, just an empty bowl, filled with mountain water. And in its reflection, you saw the sky, the stars, and yourself, fading gently together into the quiet. You closed your eyes, and the mountain breathed through you. When you emerged from the temple, the sky had brightened into full morning. The sun crowned the eastern peaks, casting golden light across the valley floor. But still, no rush stirred in you. You walked slowly, mind clear, heart light. You followed a new trail now, one that curved gently down the mountain's far side. The trees changed as you descended. The pines gave way to birch, then to maple, their leaves catching the sunlight like glass. A breeze stirred around you, carrying with it distant laughter, not loud, but familiar. You followed it, and soon, through the trees, you saw a village. Small, quiet, smoke rising from chimneys, children chasing shadows along sunlit paths. You entered unnoticed but welcomed. A woman at a well offered you water. An old man nodded from his porch. No words were needed. You found a bench beneath a tree, its branches heavy with blossoms. You sat and let the moment settle. In your chest, a peace so full, so gentle, you felt it hum through your bones. You had walked the clouded peaks, listened to their silence, drunk from their stillness. And now, you simply rested.